What's up fam, Scott here with the 5-Day Startup. If you don't know me already, follow me at Found Scott. Today I want to do a video on failed Amazon products, biggest Amazon failures and mistakes. So what we're going to do is kind of start off by covering some products that I've done in the past and what went wrong with them and why I no longer do them. So if you see right here, we have meal prep containers. This was, I think, the third product I ever did. It was actually a really good product. They sold pretty well, but we had a couple issues that made it not sellable and had to discontinue them. So number one, quality. Quality is super important on all products. So as you can see, these are actually pretty heavy duty glass, but what happened was about 1 out of 20, the lids wouldn't work. Basically, people would just leave bad reviews. I didn't have a good process to fix that, and I had too much inventory to kind of withstand that problem. So that was my biggest issue, was just quality of these lids. But I did do good inspection, I had them inspected, things like that. It just so happened that 1 out of 20 wasn't good. I sold them in 10 packs, so basically that means every other package there's something wrong. So that's a lot of quality issues. How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 more of these. It was a big box, took up a lot of space, and I had some storage issues. So I actually had this all shipped to Amazon at the beginning of October. And for some people, you know that storage fees in Amazon actually triple at the end of the year for the last 3 months due to the holidays. So basically everyone's shipping their gifts and things in, so storage fees goes up. It makes sense, it's a more profitable time to sell on Amazon, but I didn't calculate that in. And normally if you have a small product like a supplement or anything like that, it doesn't matter too much, you're fine, you're not taking up too much space. But these things, I had a container full just in storage. I was spending over $2,000 a month. And then as soon as that season was over, it actually dropped down to only a couple $100. But as you can imagine, those couple $100,000 I wasn't budgeted for. So that really killed the product. But then another issue with this product that was really out of my control, I had an unexpected x-ray at customs. So basically they charged me an extra $1,500 to get this through customs because at the time I wasn't a known shipper. So a known shipper is basically someone who goes through, it's like TSA pre-checked for customs and shipping. You just have more trust. But basically I was just packaged with another company. It wasn't a full container, it was almost, there was a couple other things in that container. So I ended up just getting a huge charge for x-rays. So between all of that, I walked away losing about $300, which is really not that bad for all of those mistakes. So it really was a good product, but just one thing after another with this product didn't come through. And the biggest thing that I'll tell you guys is number 1 was storage fees, and number 2 was quality. If I got all 5-star reviews, I would have kept this product and taken the hit the first round, said great, next round I would have fixed everything and it would have been awesome. But the quality, every once in a while one of these would come broken or the lid wouldn't work, and that's just, is it something customers want? So most important, guys, quality, quality, quality. Now we're going to a screen share and I'm gonna kind of show you what it looks like on Amazon, why I originally picked that product, look at the potential earnings, and why I thought it was worth it at the time. So we're on screen share right now, so if you just search for glass meal prep containers, this is what will come up. So you can see there's a lot of products here. You can look at the reviews, they're all over the place. So I ended up doing the 10 set, so let's find a 10 set here. So here we go. At the time, the reason why I found this is this product, or a very similar product, only had about 30 reviews and was doing about $10,000 a month. So it was new, and basically I watched some YouTube videos, followed some guru's advice, and just kind of cloned the product. I didn't differentiate. I had a almost identical product. I mean, there's slightly different sizes, different color, obviously my branding, but there's no difference at the end of the day between this and their product. So we were only competing on price and reviews. It's a very dangerous game when you get into that because it opens you up for black hatting and being undersold by manufacturers all day. I can't afford to sell at the same price as a manufacturer because I'm buying from a manufacturer. I have a whole bunch of fees in between. I'm dealing with middlemen, things like that. You look here, this one is a great product now, so I think I have it pulled up. But I also want to point out that differentiation, there's no difference really between these. They're all just kind of look the same to me. So we're gonna open that 10-pack one, and we're gonna go in here. So we're gonna look at a tool called Helium 10. Guys, if you want a discount, there'll be one below, or use my link for the affiliate. That way I can get some credit for these free videos. Really appreciate it. So this is a cool brand, their photos are good. It seals, so you can see the product is very similar. We have the seal, and then the 4, and the corner protectors are in there. You can't really see them, but I'm assuming it's the same. So one way to beat them would be good photos, but these are really good photos. I gotta tell you, it'd be hard to be much better. So then you have your price here. At the time, it was actually selling for $45, so there was even more room for profit. So that's where I was competing. So you can see that the price has been drawn down by competition and obviously by a lot of reviews. And this has been less than a year since I launched it, so they've done a lot to grow their page. But now we're gonna use that tool Helium 10, so you can look at their different sales histories, but what I'm gonna go into is X-ray. So X-ray kind of shows you basically their estimated revenue based on their sales volume. So right here you can see that they're making $37,000 a month. Definitely a product that would be worth going into if you could compete, but for all those reasons that I've explained, it's not a good product, just too much competition. So sales volume, that's also a big issue. I wasn't ready to compete at that sales level, so I have to sell 1,000 units a month, which means I had to buy a lot of inventory. And so that just causes more issues, especially as a newer seller. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Any of your calculations wrong, it can really come back to bite you. It's better to start a little bit smaller until you're ready or can afford it. So another thing I want to point out is the review count. If I click on it, it'll show you how quickly you get the reviews. So if I go over the last year, so this is interesting. They had 140, they lost a whole bunch. They went down to 20. So they were definitely doing review manipulation. Whatever happened, Amazon pooled their reviews and you can see them regain it. So they're probably still doing it. That's another red flag. That's a huge red flag. I wouldn't try to go head to head with a company that I know is manipulating reviews. They're just gonna do anything to win. Cheating, unfortunately, can help you get ahead. And then one last thing, we're gonna use helium-10. So we're just gonna go look at all the meal prep containers and just kind of decide if it's a good product. So you can actually click on the Chrome plugin here and do X-ray for all of them, and you can kind of filter out through different products. So you can look at here and see the revenue. I'm gonna filter by revenue, and you can look at what the actual product is. So here's a different meal prep container that does over $500,000 in revenue per month. So that's a huge number. You'd have to dive deeper in there and see if there's manipulation. You can see a big influx in sales, but even then, here's another one that's doing a little bit less. So the thing is, look at all these reviews. If you guys can see them, 3,000, 1,000. So this is very hard to compete in. As a new seller, it's just not gonna be possible. Success score up here, this is a new thing. It tells you your chance of doing well in that industry. So the success score basically filters a lot of criteria and kind of gives you an idea. I don't use that ever, but it is a good idea to look at. So this is just saying there's so much competition that it's not recommended to go into. So now the next product I failed at, I don't have an example for you to actually look at, but it's lawn darts. So for anyone that knows lawn darts, basically it was a toy kind of in the 70s. That's the same thing as darts on a board, but it was a big dart, metal dart about this big with some wood on the back, and you throw it on the ground. They basically are outlawed and actually illegal in the United States. Children were unfortunately getting severely hurt. The darts were actually stabbing people, and so they're considered the most dangerous toy in history, in the United States at least. And so what they've come out with recently is soft tip darts, and they're basically just rubber like tips or blow up things that throw, and you can throw it, peg it at your friend. It's just like hitting them with a ball. It's not gonna hurt, it won't do any damage. I found this product and we can look at the X-ray here, and there was decent money to be made. There was actually not a lot of competition, and the reviews of my competitors were low. So what I did was I tried to examine the different reviews and find out a way to fix this. So we can look at here, you can see there's a better success score. It's over double what the other product was. And we can look at sales. So this just pulls everything from that page. So these are all sporting goods activities. That's why they're coming up. So this one's doing 15,000, and this product wasn't out at the time when I did my product. And I'm actually gonna talk about them because they fix a lot of the issues that I was having. So one of the issues, again, and we talked about this before, was quality. So you'll notice if we go down here, a lot of them have 4 stars, 3 stars. There's definitely some lower down with 2 stars, 3.5. So none of these are really getting good reviews. Here we go, 3 stars. So we can look at what a 3 star is making. But one of the reasons why getting 3 stars is actually, it's a fundamental issue with the product, is that it bounces. It doesn't have a tip like the old-fashioned kind did. And so as you throw them, they bounce and they don't hit their target, and people aren't happy. It's not as fun as the original game. So there's just really was no easy way around it that I could determine at the time. I could actually redo this now and do it better, but it's just something that I decided to step away from. So if we go into helium-10 X-ray, we can look to see what this is making. This is a 3-star product. So it's still doing $800, which is not good, but it has 3 stars. So that's just telling you that there's demand for lawn darts and people willing to buy lower quality products. So what this product did really well, they reinvented it. So at the time, I hadn't seen any blow up games, and I'm assuming, I haven't read the description here, but it has a dart. It's probably Velcro or magnetic or something like that, or weighted so they land and don't bounce as much. And they just changed the game a little bit. And actually the one I used had a landing pad and it was supposed to be magnetic, but the magnets weren't working very well. So it's just a whole bunch of issues. Moral of the story, guys, is quality. You have to make sure you have a superior product to other people to sell. So I would have been extremely successful in this industry if I had done a little bit more research and made a better product, spent the time and figured out what exactly was wrong with the products. So that's another tool I want to show you is we can open any of these lawn darts and we can use Helium-10 and it's loading, but there's a review downloader. So you can filter through all the reviews. I'm only going to look at 3 stars and below and I'm going to extract them. So what it's going to do is it's going to open them up and show you all the reviews. There's analytics here that'll show you common words that come up. So none of these are really helpful, but you can go through and read all these reviews and basically reverse engineer the product, determine what's wrong with the product. That's how you differentiate and make a better product. This is a really cool tool. You can actually export it into Excel or wherever you want to use it and just kind of read through all the reviews and determine how you can make your product better if that's what you're going to go into. All right, so just to summarize the lawn darts, basically the biggest issue here was, again, quality. If you don't have a quality product, you just can't compete because eventually your reviews are going to go down. It's going to cost more to market. Your conversion rate's going to go down, and your business will go under. So quality on Amazon, super important in anything you do. You should take the time, spend the money, get the right product, because if you have a luxury product, you can actually charge more for it. So if you have a 5-star review product, you can charge almost double what a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star are getting, and people will buy it because they just want good quality that's going to last a while. There's a lot of people out there that aren't looking for bargains anymore. They're looking for good products. So another common failure, just picking something too competitive. This is a niche that a lot of new people go into. Things like outdoor lighting, pet gloves, grill brushes, some kitchen supplies like silicone kitchen stuff. So we're gonna go into pet gloves. I mean, you can look at the reviews and just see. So this guy only has 70 reviews, so we can look at what they're doing. But there's just too much competition and there's no way to differentiate. All these gloves look the same. I guarantee you they all do almost identically the same thing. And at 5,000 reviews, there's probably review manipulation or just crazy volume. So let's look at the one that only had a couple reviews. So this one has 70 reviews. It might be a newer product, so let's come down here and look at the timeline. So all times, it's been around for over a year. All right, so it's only doing $1,000 a month, which isn't that much. And then let's look at another competitor who has 5,000 reviews. So this is 5,000 reviews, but only 4 stars. So we're gonna go back in, look at how long they've been around. So they've been around for a little bit longer, 2 years, maybe 3 years. Sometimes the data doesn't keep going. And then we're gonna go into X-ray and look at how much they're making, learn a little bit more about their brand. So here you go. They're making between 90 and 175. Sometimes variations get shown a little bit differently. If the sales volume numbers, yeah, the sales are different, so it's actually making 175. So this number is probably pretty accurate. The way I determine that is if the sales volume is different per SKU, then it's probably correct. So then another thing I wanna look at is the review count. So I wanna look at how quickly they're getting reviews. So in a year, they had over 1,000 reviews. So that just seems crazy to me. There's no easy way to compete in that. So let's look at their volume. So sales, I mean, they're doing a large amount of sales. So it might be all real, it might not. You have to start off by buying 2 to 3 months inventory. So you're talking about 30,000 units. That's a crazy startup investment and you can't really compete in that. And you'd wanna buy that much because you wanna be the #1 listing or on the first page. If you're gonna do a luxury pet glove, maybe you need half of that and you're gonna be at the bottom of the first page selling a more expensive product. Maybe it comes in a different set with a different brush, things like that. So there are ways to do it, but again, this is just an example of what I wouldn't do. And some people show this as how to find your $1 million product right away. Super competitive, very hard to do, and no way to differentiate. All right, so we covered a lot here. Some of the things we covered was the custom fee issue. So custom fees and custom taxes. If you guys watched my last video, there's a calculator that'll help you figure out exactly what it'll be. But sometimes there are surprise inspections and things like that, which you can help avoid by being a known shipper, but sometimes it's just unavoidable. And that's why if you looked at our calculator formula, we put in a 20 or 30% room for error. And that is because of things like that, unknown fees. So the next thing we talked about was storage fees. So basically you have to make sure you understand storage fees year round. So these things were very big. They cost a lot of money to store and they ate all of my profit. There are ways around that. So if you don't ship all the way to Amazon, you can use different warehouses, things like that. But it's things to be aware of. You gotta get all the calculations and understand exactly what you're doing. Read the terms of services, get the fees correct. All right, so the next thing we talked about, quality and differentiating your product. So again, another example of these and the lawn darts is mine weren't super differentiated. The lawn darts were a little bit more, but these were basically just the clone, a little bit different. Still a really good product, but just no reason to buy mine over another one's except for reviews and pricing. The last thing I wanna talk about is kind of a lack of marketing, which I didn't really talk about before, but a lot of these products, especially the more competitive, you need a way to drive traffic there, and a lot of people kind of overlook that. They just think, if I get a decent product, it'll sell. It will in a low competition market where there's nothing else there and you're the only choice. If people are searching it, you're the only one there, or one of two, you have a good chance of selling. But something like this, you can compete if you can drive traffic there, sell thousands of units in the first 2 months and kind of take that #1 spot. All right guys, let me know if you have any questions. Please make sure to subscribe. I really hope this helped you kind of avoid some big mistakes that I made. Do it right the first time. Feel free to message me on Instagram at @FoundScott. I respond to all my DMs personally and I'll help answer any questions you have. All right guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you next time. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. Really appreciate it. Please make sure to subscribe. Should be right down there or there. Watch my next video and my playlist right there for me and Moses. Thanks so much. Have a great day.